Hey, this is Aaron with BS Tracker. I'm going to run this video by Lawrence O'Donnell through AI to check for bias, emotional manipulation, and exaggeration. Take everything here with a grain of salt. My goal isn't to tell you what to think, but to help you see what's going on beneath the surface. Remember, bias doesn't always mean something is false, it just affects how the message is framed. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. I'll start off by giving a neutral explanation of the ruling. The U.S. Court of International Trade issued a unanimous decision striking down a set of tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The court ruled that Trump exceeded the legal authority granted by the law, which allows limited economic action during national emergencies. The judges found that using the act to justify broad, long-term tariffs, especially to influence foreign governments or address non-emergency trade issues, was unconstitutional. The key points from the ruling: Congress controls tariff policy, and while it can delegate some authority, it cannot give the president unlimited power. The court said IEEPA does not authorize blanket tariff imposition for general policy goals like stopping fentanyl or adjusting trade balances. The tariffs in question are void, and U.S. Customs can no longer collect them. This ruling applies only to tariffs imposed under this act, not to those under other legal authorities like Section 232 or Section 301. The case may still be appealed to the Supreme Court. The tariffs from the administration that will remain in effect include Section 232 tariffs from the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, which includes steel and aluminum, a 25% tariff, automobiles and auto parts, a 25% tariff, Section 301 tariffs in response to unfair trade practices from China, such as IP violations. The administration is also looking into several new tariffs, including pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, shipbuilding, heavy-duty trucks, etc. So moving into the actual video, we start with bias and framing, which gets a 2 out of 10. It uses explicitly charged language like illegal, madness, and death knell of the Constitution. It frames the ruling not just as legal correction, but as a moral humiliation of Trump. Repeated references to Trump's attempt to kill the Constitution reflect a prosecutorial framing rather than neutral reporting. Emotional manipulation gets a 3 out of 10, uses dramatic language like crushing humiliation, tariff madness ends now to elicit satisfaction and outrage, invokes historical figures like Madison and high-stakes metaphors to suggest Trump is undermining America itself, leverages applause-triggering lines like Trump is constitutionally out of his mind. Omission of key context was a 4 out of 10. It does not specify that the ruling only applies to tariffs justified under the IEEPA. Not all Trump-era tariffs, for example, Section 301 tariffs on China, remain untouched. Omits any defense or justification from Trump's legal team beyond saying all were rejected. No mention that the IEEPA has been used controversially by past presidents, not just Trump. Misleading or leading questions got a 2 out of 10. While not structured as a Q&A, the rhetorical nature of trying to kill the Constitution functions as an implied accusation, not a neutral inquiry. The phrase constitutional illiteracy leads the audience towards a conclusion without presenting alternative viewpoints. Intentional dishonesty got a 4 out of 10, refers to all of Trump's tariffs being struck down, but the ruling pertains only to those imposed under IEEPA. Suggests future markets are soaring in response to this ruling without citing actual data, implying broader economic impact prematurely. The rhetorical integrity is a 3 out of 10, shifts from legal interpretation to personal attack repeatedly, using phrases like constitutionally insane and can't read a single page. Crosses into character judgment, diminishing the legal argument's focus. Source transparency got a 5 out of 10. Quotes the ruling extensively and mentions the judge's appointments, but does not cite the case number or provide any links for viewers to verify independently. It gives minimal space to legal reasoning beyond cherry-picked rulings. Use of evidence is a 6 out of 10. Includes multiple direct quotes from the ruling, summarizing the judge's legal logic. Accurate summary of the court's opinion on overreach under IEEPA. The strawman risk is a 4 out of 10. It oversimplifies Trump's legal position as just saying national emergency without explaining what Trump's lawyers actually argued. Claims no one has ever imagined a president imposing tariffs, which ignores historical precedent under other laws such as Section 232 or 301. Terminology exaggeration is a 2 out of 10. Phrases like Trump's attempt to kill the Constitution are hyperbolic and exaggerate the legal ruling scope. Use of crushing, death knell, and tariff madness shifts the rhetoric from legal coverage to dramatic performance. The overall argument honesty rate was a 3.7 out of 10. The segment contains numerous factual references to the court ruling, but wraps them in emotionally charged, inflammatory rhetoric. The legal ruling is used as a launch pad for sweeping claims about Trump's character, intent, and constitutional literacy. It severely downplays nuance and overstates the scope of implications of the ruling. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, or anything that you want to add, whether you agree or disagree, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.